Hello, hello, hello. JLR Investigates. Come on in, everyone. New information. So much stuff to process. Wow. Come on in, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at. We are continuing covering the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. I got some new information. So I got a lot of boots on the ground, and I know a lot of people watch this channel when it comes to this case because they want to see what does JLR have next. What have I uncovered? Well, I have learned some new information, some new backstory from all this drama and all this saga dealing with the Sebastian Rogers disappearance. Yesterday, folks, they offered a $50,000 reward. We know about that. We talked about that. You know, that's a good thing. It's good that the FBI's stepped to the plate. $50,000 is a lot of money. Actually, I looked at a comparison, the Elijah View case. FBI is offering $15,000 with that case. So $50,000 is a significant increase from what they normally do. It's a big deal. I think it's a big deal that the FBI is partnering with the TBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. But I believe that the state level is still handling the lead investigators of this case. I still really think that it appears to be that. But some interesting stuff has come out in reference to Sebastian's name on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. They might have this by era, or they classify this very strangely. And we'll talk about that a little bit too. But we're going to talk about what in the world is going on with Seth Rogers, because I pay attention and I try to analyze what is this guy doing and what is up. Like, why does he continue to do the things he's doing in this case, right? Because you know, really in my heart, I feel like this guy is innocent. I really do feel like this guy is innocent of doing something to Sebastian. However, just the decision making and the things that he's been saying lately just has my mind boggled all over the place. And I try to analyze this and try to figure out why. And I communicate daily with people in Sumner County, my sources. I'm not going to name my sources. Try to get an understanding of what this is really about. Is he a suspect or not? Is he involved with the disappearance of his son or not? I think no, but it's just weird. There's just some very strange and bizarre things. I've always said this, and I will say this again, that I believe that she is the key to this entire mystery. She's the last person to be with Sebastian. And just the silence of her and her behaviors herself speak for itself. Right? I will continue to say that, and that's where I stand on that issue. So I just want to make that perfectly clear, because, you know, by putting things out about this case, sometimes some people kind of respond to me, some people, not a lot, but saying, you know, you're blaming Seth, he has nothing to do with this, and that's not what I'm saying here, because really I don't know. But we want to understand why Seth is doing what he's doing in this case. And I found out some information here. I found out some new information about this case, right? And I think it all started around the end of May, the May of 2024. So Seth and a bunch of people were hosting a bike event in Sumner County, right? Remember that bike run? They had a bike run, and then they ended up going to the high school, the beach high school, right down the street from where Sebastian, the complex there where Sebastian went to school. Remember that bike run? It was at the end of May. I think it was like May 20th, around that range. Well, from that point on, it just went totally south for Seth. And I'll say Seth and Tony too, because that's when Tony went there, and, you know, Tony was the official spokesperson at that point. It was, you know, the decision making and whatnot. But from that point on, Seth Rogers, what I'm told, okay, so basically, let me just sum this up. And I actually put this tweet out. From that point on, Seth Rogers, a major ally of Seth Rogers in that community, has just shifted away from Seth. And we're talking about a commissioner there. His name is Don Schmidt. Don Schmidt was a commissioner that was side by side with Seth at the beginning stages for the first couple months. He was putting out Seth as, you know, missing Sebastian, help. Don Schmidt is a county commissioner, or a commissioner there, a commissioner for that particular district, and he was doing a lot to put Sebastian's face out there. And going to these events, getting on the microphone, getting on the MC. I don't know if you guys remember. I'll show you who he is. It's this guy here. I'll show you in a minute. But the point I'm trying to make is from that point on, from that May, event that they had in Sumner County, Don Smith just totally went the other way. And Don Smith is a 100% proponent and supporter of Eric Craddock. Something happened in that mix, I'm told. And I don't know specifically, but everything shifted where the officials in Sumner County they didn't want nothing to do with Seth. And they pretty much pushed Seth out. Now, maybe it was because of Seth understanding who these people are. It was at that point, it was just a couple months, when Sebastian went missing, because Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers went missing February 26th. And for the first month, right, Seth's around there, searchers, people hugging him, and people locals, a lot of locals, were, sympathetic for Seth, rallying behind Seth. But from that May bike ride on, things started changing. And also, I believe that Seth started changing, right? He started becoming more hostile. Some of his, behavior started coming out in people observing. And, then his voice started, I think he started shooting himself in the mouth. And it just seems like over and over and over, it gets more brazen and more reckless, right, with his words. But it became more hostile towards the Sumner County Sheriff, Eric Craddock, in the sheriff's office. One thing I can tell you right now is, and I can say this as a statement of fact, Seth Rogers is not welcomed in Sumner County right now. No officials back him. He's pretty much on his own at this point. And I think a lot of it has to do with his own doing, or maybe it has something to do with, Sebastian itself. But things have dramatically changed. And this Don Smith guy doesn't want anything to do with him. Won't host no events. Now, I know that Seth has been snapping at some of these people, demanding help and demanding that they, support him, contacting people. I'm told he's contacted officials and trying to get events and things that, in Sumner County. And no one's signing on to this in Sumner County. No one is signing on to this right now. No one wants anything. No one wants to host an event being side by side in Sumner County with him. And I think he's taking this frustration out on Craddock. He spoke out again yesterday. He snapped back again despite the FBI graciously putting out a $50,000 reward, partnering with the Sumner County Sheriffs, because Sumner County Sheriffs have also, put out that reward saying they partnered more or less with the FBI. But Seth had said another statement about the situation. And it seems like Seth has no allies whatsoever anymore in Sumner County. Now, he has support. He has a group, right? There's a few Facebook groups that support him, but it's a lot of people from not Sumner County. Just a few from Sumner County, but not a lot at all. You remember, Sumner County has, I don't know the population of Sumner County. I don't know what I should have done this. I wanted to do this. Sumner County, Tennessee population. I just want to say the Sumner County, Tennessee population. My point is, yesterday they had Sumner County population is 203,000. So 200,000 are in Sumner County. Yesterday there was a rally. I'm going to call it a protest to clear. The media put it as a rally, right? But there was a protest at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to clear Seth's name at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Out of everyone in the county, 200,000 people in the county, 15 showed up. 15 showed up. And I'm told that out of the 15 that showed up, like 2/3 of them aren't even from Sumner County. So the issue is Seth is aligned with a lot of outsiders. Because Seth is not from Sumner County. He's from, I guess it's called Montgomery County, right? It's Montgomery County, which is an hour outside Sumner County. So he's not even from there. He's not even from Sumner County. And he's brought in an outsider, right? He brought in this guy, We all know about this guy. We did a whole dossier and a report on him and about, his checkered past and everything about him the other day, right? All the 25 lawsuits filed against him, sued by a church, a school, businesses, everything, right? The bankruptcies, the judgments, the failed businesses, the writing bad checks, the warrants out, and his arrest for his past. So he's an outsider. He's an outsider. He's not even from Tennessee. He's not from Sumner County. He's not from Clarksville. He has nothing to do with Tennessee. He sells cranes as a salesman, travels out of state, goes up north by the Canadian border and pitches his pitch to get people to buy crane stuff, right? That's what he does, not official spokesman. So he's an outsider that comes into Sumner County, or not Sumner County, comes in and tries to help him. So he's an outsider. But he's not even from Sumner County. He's not from Sumner County. So Seth has outside people. As you know, there was somebody aligned with him that got arrested the other day, not even from Sumner County. There's really, at this point, and I'm spitting facts. If you don't like the truth, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to share with you guys, because I know there's a lot of people that are sympathetic for him, and I get it. I get it. I want to make this clear. I don't think he murdered Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I don't think he did. I still don't know, but I don't think he did. My opinion, I don't think he did something to Sebastian the 25th, the 26th. I generally think he was working. But folks, I do. Oh, wow, my thing froze. We'll get that information out over time. But he has these outsiders that are coming in, and he's an outsider himself. So he's an outsider himself. He has outsiders. There's a couple Facebook groups set up, for Sebastian, but it's ran by people not from Sumner County. It's from people from, I think they have a group, and I think one of the admins, they're all from Clarksville area. They're not from Sumner County. So he's not getting a lot of Sumner County support at all. Like, nobody in the county seems to be like, hey, Seth Rogers, we're here for you. We're here for you. There was at the beginning. There were some people locally. There was people out there searching. But not anymore, folks. And it changed around the end of May. I personally think it changed since this guy came into the mix. Now, before he came up to that event, which was like, I think, again, it was like, I'm looking at the news. And I wanted to get the actual date, but it was the motorcycle event. Hundreds of motorcycles and Jeep participate in the Ride for Sebastian in Sumner County. So this is dated May 19th. It's dated May 19th, May 20th. So I guess it happened on the 19th. This is Jeeps and motorcycles rev through Hendersonville Sunday afternoon, working to make sure they find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, right? And, and then they ended up going to Beach High School. Remember that? Okay. But since that event has went on, and now that was the May, that's when he came into the mix for the first time. He made his debut, coming there, making his presence known and everything like that. Everything locally went south for him. At that point, that was the ending. He had one supporter there, again, the commissioner, Don Schmidt, who was there. So what I'm told is from that point on, Seth was badgering more people in Sumner County to host events or support him, with the Sebastian, and no one would co-sign on that. So he would lash out, he would snap at these people and say, you're not emotionally invested in this case, and blah 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 blah, and really going off these people. And these people kind of took a step back and said, whoa, we don't understand what happened here. And knowing who he's affiliated with and who he's associating with, they want nothing to do with it. So that's really the situation, what's going on. So Seth now is pushed out of the county. He's pushed out of the county. He's back to where he lives. And they had an event the other day in Clarksville, right? Montgomery County. They had an event in Clarksville, but they didn't have anything with Sumner County. They had nothing in Sumner County. So reward is out. This is what Seth said yesterday. This is what Seth said yesterday to Fox about this reward. Seth told Fox News the FBI offering a $50,000 reward is great, but wants more from local law enforcement. I wish there were agencies that were emotionally invested to do their jobs. Now, I have a personal, I'm thinking, what? You're not gracious, grateful. Where's the gratitude? People are offering $50,000 reward, and you're still going at the local police. And
And it seems like he has a really bad gripe with Craddock. He called Craddock a D-bag the other day. He said they had egos in the past. Him and his people are saying that Craddock is corrupt. They're corrupt.
They're in bed with the Proudfoots. We know that's ridiculous. They're not in the bed with the Proudfoots. Proudfoots are residents there, right? Proudfoots, they're there, but they haven't cleared anybody. And Craddock has made that perfectly clear. He didn't say Proudfoots are cleared on anything, so they're not in bed. But just the accusations is having a sour taste on officials' mouths in Sumner County. How can you reasonably say, hey, you're going to work with this guy or give this guy any information? They didn't even give him information the other day. They told him to wait till Monday for that information out. It's another clear sign that they want nothing to do with Seth. And I think it's his own bed that he made. It's his own making. I tweeted this out.
This is the truth, folks. This is the truth. I'm told. This is the truth right here. Now, whether someone told me the truth about this, that's another story. I'm told Sumner County, Tennessee officials want nothing to do with Seth Rogers because of his continuous bashing of their local law enforcement. Sebastian Rogers remains missing. Now, I'm going to take you back. You remember yesterday or the day before? We played it yesterday. But Seth was like basically, in this when he was sitting there, when he was talking with Tony Mathis with his arm around him, and he said that Craddock is a D-bag. He said Craddock is a D-bag, saying bad things about Craddock, having his people centered around him, right? The small group of people that are around him saying Craddock is corrupt. They're corrupt. They were at they're at a protest at the sheriff's office. Corrupt. So let me take you back to Don Schmidt, the local commissioner, who was basically side by side with Seth at the beginning stages. This is the local politician there. He's I guess each county commissioner has a certain area wherever, and a certain representative represents them. I don't know if you guys remember this guy here. His name is Don Schmidt, and I'm going to just play this clip right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Finding Sebastian is happening right now out of the public view. As you can see, this area looks very different than it did 3 weeks ago when Sebastian went missing. Rescue crews swarmed the area, checking more than 2,000 miles around Sebastian's home. To this point, the TBI says there's no proof there was or wasn't a crime involved and have no sign of the autistic teenager. Don Schmidt is a Sumner County commissioner. He's pledged to post about Sebastian daily, even traveling to Clarksville last night for a prayer vigil.
Do not lose hope. Do not let your mind steer you to the worst case scenario. We don't know where this kid is. A lot of people, their first knee-jerk reaction is to, think the worst case.
Okay, so that was Don Schmidt.
County commissioner. You saw him. You know who I'm talking about. So just some people that might not know might be like, well, who's Don Schmidt? Who's Don Schmidt? Well, I want to tell you something. From that point when they had that event at the end of May, Don Schmidt just basically stopped promoting anything of Seth Rogers. Matter of fact, at the beginning, Don Schmidt was promoting Seth's calls to find Sebastian along with the United Cajun Navy, and Don Schmidt erased after the end of May, Don Schmidt erased those posts from his Facebook page. Don Schmidt
supports Eric Craddock. A great night for Sumner County. Congratulations to Chief Deputy Craddock, now Sheriff Craddock, on being appointed interim sheriff by unanimous vote Monday evening at the meeting of the full commission. Schmidt is personal friends with Craddock. They know each other. I mean, the commissioners should, right? The commissioners, everybody, the officials. So you see what I'm saying here?
Schmidt couldn't stand Seth, for some reason, bashing law enforcement and said, I want nothing to do with this at this point. And I'm not going to co-sign Seth and Tony, this outsider, this criminal, being involved in their game playing, tricks, manipulation, schemes. Money might be involved. They don't want nothing to do with it. And officials at this point are awake in Sumner County and don't even be aligned with it. They're not with it.
Now, Schmidt, he vowed every day to post that. You heard the report. Every day, Schmidt was like, I'm going to post stuff about Sebastian every day. Well, from that time, from that event on, he only has posted sporadically. And the post that he made recently was just yesterday about the $50,000 reward for FBI. Normally, he hasn't been posting nothing about the Sebastian Rogers case, but it's interesting that he posted the $50,000 reward for right here. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. If you see something, say something. And this is about the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. He actually retweeted or reposted the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, right? So Schmidt definitely supports the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Seth Rogers doesn't. Why? But why? What is Seth? Seth, what is his actual gripe about the son? Because they haven't solved his son's case? Is that a reason why? Or is there something going on that we don't know behind the scenes that we really don't know? Remember, we've talked about theories and speculation. Seth has had his devices taken. Is he just... I don't get it. And I wish this could be explained more on their end. On their end. Explained more the actual resentment, the hate, the anger, I mean, listen to this right here. Listen to this right here. He spoke too yesterday, by the way. He spoke to a media. They talked to him, but I don't know where he was at when he spoke, and I'll show this to you. But it's very strange to say the least. Somebody considering, why can't Seth give it a chance? Why can't Seth Rogers give it a chance that the FBI has offered a $50,000 reward and be thankful for that? Instead of being thankful, it's hateful. It's hateful. Now, I speculated. I talked to a few people about that. They say, well, maybe their grift is up. You know what I mean? Whatever they were doing, financially, they're not going to be able to do no more because the FBI one-upped them by putting out a reward. I don't know.
6 months, one long nightmare.
The nightmare continues tonight for that man, the father of missing Sumner County teenager, Sebastian Rogers. Today marks 6 months since Rogers disappeared from his home near Beach High School, literally without a trace. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar now live in the area in Hendersonville where the search stands tonight. Karen?
Scott, today the FBI offered a $50,000 reward. It's the latest attempt to solve a case that's gone cold. The missing boy's father tells me he still has hope his son can be found.
I don't know what's going on, and I'm on a tilt-a-whirl.
Seth Rogers is torn apart. There is still no trace of his 15-year-old son, Sebastian Rogers, who has autism. Investigators say he was last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville.
It's a 15-year-old missing child. He's my son.
His biological mother, Cathy Proudfoot, previously told Fox 17 News she last saw her son Sebastian the night before in their Hendersonville home. Sebastian lived with his mother and her husband, Chris Proudfoot. The two did not want to comment. The TBI, who partners with the FBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, told Fox 17 News, quote, "No evidence at this time indicating criminal activity is involved," end quote. Seth tells me the FBI offering a $50,000 reward is great, but wants more from local law enforcement.
I wish that there was agencies that were emotionally invested to do their job.
Seth has hired a private investigator to continue looking for his son.
I will not fail my son.
Said he would not fail his son. So he still, well, actually the report goes on a little bit more. We'll just listen to the rest.
Sebastian Rogers' last sighting was just a block from where I'm standing, and since that last sighting, there hasn't been any trace of him. So the FBI is hoping that that $50,000 reward is enough for someone to come forward with any information on his disappearance. If you do have information, you can contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, or you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Of course, Fox 17 News has been there every step of the way in the ongoing search for young Sebastian Rogers. You can.
I like how the media always says, we've been there since the beginning. every step of the way, continue to cover us and watch us for continuous coverage on the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. Okay, so you heard Seth. You heard Seth, right? It's just very strange that he is not on the same page with Craddock. And I want to know why. Matter of fact, yesterday there was a protest, right, in front of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Nick Barris was there. Nick Barris was there. Didn't interview Seth. Didn't interview Tony. I don't know if they didn't want to come on camera. Well, maybe Seth didn't because Seth wasn't there. A protest centered around Sebastian, where Seth Rogers the day before was told that that Sumner County is going to provide information on Monday about Sebastian, and Seth never even showed up to his own protest, which only 15 people, up to 15, I think 10, news reported 15, only 15 people showed. Very odd. Is Seth not coming back to Sumner County? Is Seth not, like, I don't know. I know they did a photo op about a month ago where they were down by the water and Tony's filming him on a boat. They say it was a search. I'm told it wasn't a search.
This bracelet right here, it says Sebastian's Army, and members of Sebastian's Army back here behind me are outside the sheriff's office today, reminding everyone that it was 6 months ago that Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Hendersonville.
Today is the 6-month anniversary of him going missing, and it's very important to keep Sebastian's name out in the public so he's not forgotten. And we were very pleased to hear about the $50,000 reward. That is going to be very helpful.
Yes, now the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to the missing 15-year-old with autism.
I hope that's the catalyst to make something move.
Ken Widener with Sumner County EMA heads up the continuing search effort for Sebastian. To date, they found no trace of the teen. Yes, it's possible Sebastian wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money concedes the very real possibility of foul play.
If somebody were to have done something and they told somebody something, it may be what it takes for that person to get that off their chest and make the right decision.
And now the TBI references the reward for information leading to Sebastian or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Now remember, investigators have never named any suspects. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Still, after 6 months with no good leads, everyone wonders how a child alone could vanish without a trace. So the hope is someone out there knows something and calls in the key tip to 1-800-TBI-FIND and helps solve the mystery of what happened to Sebastian Rogers. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
See, but I think they're getting a little bit wrong with that because Nick Barris seems to go to the route where there's foul play involved. Like I know Craddock said out of his mouth months ago that there's no evidence of foul play. But I wonder if Craddock would say to this date, just like with this report where it seems like Barris is trying to say as if the FBI is open to the possibility that there's foul play, right, based off the reward. Well, what about Craddock saying there's no evidence of a kidnapping or Sebastian lured away? Because my personal take on the flyer, the reward is based on Sebastian being alive, possibly being alive, not dead, and taken somewhere, taken to a location. But the way this report seemed like it was as if they think there was foul play involved. Why don't we ask Craddock now? Why don't Nick Barrett? Now he played the clip of Craddock, but that was from months ago. And as this case is going on, 6 months now, there could be new information, new stuff out. Why don't Barris sit down with Eric Craddock and ask Craddock out of his mouth the same question he asked months ago? Ask him the same question today. Any evidence of foul play and see what he says. Or ask Craddock any evidence of a kidnapping and see what Craddock says. So I hope he does that. It seems like he's the only one that has access to Craddock in this time in reference to people. But he also, put it out. And I want to share what he said on Facebook. He did the same report kind of like on Facebook too. And I like Nick Barris. I like his updates. I'm not saying anything bad about Nick Barris. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, $50,000 reward in Sebastian Rogers' case. Today marks 6 months since Sebastian, 15-year-old with autism, vanished. Now the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward that leads to Rogers. After this much time with no strong leads or sightings, authorities are now hoping this money leads to a solid tip. So what happened? Yes, it's possible he wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money concedes the real possibility of foul play. And maybe foul play, but what about this? Let's switch this off foul play and say, but the FBI reward money concedes the very possibility of a kidnapping. If somebody were to have done something and told something, it may be what it takes for that person to get that off their chest and make the right decision. Ken Wieldner says, director of Sumner County EMA. And now the TBI references the reward for information leading to Sebastian to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Remember, though, the investigators have never named any suspects. Any evidence of foul play? We have not cleared anyone, but we have no evidence to support foul play, said Deputy Eric Craddock earlier this year. So he's using a clip from earlier this year to say no evidence of foul play, but I want to know if that tune has changed today. Are they still thinking the same today? And that would be interesting to know. That would be interesting to know if he still feels the same today. Is this a kidnapping? Is this foul play? Why the reward now? Why the reward now? It seems like the reward now indicates that either one, maybe Craddock's running for sheriff and they got to solve this case because some people have, pointed out that Craddock, some people, I see the comments on Facebook and some say, he's running for sheriff, but he hasn't found Sebastian yet. So what is he going to do to find Sebastian? And he needs that Sebastian Dwayne Drake Rogers to be found in order to secure the election. I don't think anyone's running against him, though, at this time, though there probably could be someone. But you get what I'm saying. It's election year. An election year of all politicians, over the years, they want to solve a crime right before an election, right, to boost their own profile, boost their own standing, right? He hasn't been found. But there is something definitely going on between these two. Does Craddock think Seth Rogers is involved? Is that why there's a break of communication? Does Craddock feel that Seth Rogers is aligned with wrong people? Is that why Seth is angry at the sheriff? Is Seth angry at the sheriff because generally the sheriff didn't solve the case of his missing boy? That could be a possibility too. I mean, a lot of people that support Seth, it seems that use that argument that, Seth is a grieving father and he wants the sheriffs to solve his case. I get that. I get it. But at the same time, what I don't get is the continuous bashing and the isolation that he's in at this point, because he's definitely isolated. I don't think anyone from Sumner County is going to co-sign what he's doing from this point forward. Some people think Seth is involved. Again, I want to make this crystal clear for the people in the back of the bus. I feel Katie Proudfoot is the number one key to this mystery. Her silence is very telling. Though in this country, you have the right to remain silent, right? Yeah, she's not publicly named as a person of interest or a suspect. So in a sense, yeah, we can talk about her, but she wants to stay private. She wants to stay private. And she's pretty much stayed private during this whole time. And everyone acts differently during a situation. Everyone's characteristics, behaviors, whatever like that. Just like all of us covering the case. There's different personalities and different ways to present cases. It's how people are. Everyone has a personality. Everyone acts differently in a situation, right? I know if my son was missing, I would do the searching and everything like that continuously. I'd be out there every day putting it out there. I wouldn't be bashing law enforcement. I wouldn't be bashing the hand that feeds me or the hand that I know that's going to solve the case, because at the end of the day, it's the Sumner County Sheriffs that are going to arrest the people, right? Responsible. I mean, it could be TBI with partnering with the Sumner County Sheriff. So what's up with the bashing? But I think if you're going to sit there and have sympathy for him, I think we have to understand a little bit more of the facts. Because if the facts are out and he can show receipts and show proof of, being generally aggrieved or whatever his gripes are, Maybe we can rally around Seth. Maybe we will rally around Seth. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have a change of tune and say, oh, you know, Seth, that's not right that Sumner County sheriffs are doing this to you. But there's always two sides of the story. And he talking and being aligned with this guy, knowing that he's a habitual con man, I don't think I want to just believe what's out this guy's mouth. Show the receipts. Show the proof. Show the proof of what's going on. Show the communications that you had with the county sheriffs. He claims that they've been texting, right? He claimed on one of these podcasts or news reports, maybe like a month ago or something like that, he claims that, you know, the only communication that he has with the sheriffs is via text, right? And he goes, I need to see them in person. I need to see their reactions and all that. You know, remember that, what he said? Okay, well, what have they been communicating about? What's the real story about bringing him in with Cathy to the district attorney inside an office to review surveillance tape? What's the deal with that? What's the deal about a polygraph administered by local sheriffs? I know Nancy Grace people gave him a polygraph, and according to his mom, he failed the first one, or inconclusive, failed, but then they wanted to say inconclusive because of him falling asleep or whatever. That's what his mom said. And then he retook it, and then apparently Nancy Grace said he passed. Why did he ever take a law enforcement polygraph test? Like an actual LE polygraph test? Now, polygraph tests are not admissible, but it does make you wonder. It makes you wonder. Now, this guy here, I actually support. There's actually a change.org petition out there. I don't know how. We always talk about change.org petitions. I like the guy. I like the guy. I like the step that they just did about the $50,000 reward. I think it's a big deal, considering, look around and see how many other cases out there the FBI gives for missing children at $50,000. Look how many other cases out there that the FBI gives that much money to find a missing child. That's $50,000. Now, they did it for Elijah View. They did it here. I saw this. FBI offers $50,000 reward in case of missing 3-year-old boy. 15. I got 50 in my mind because Sebastian got that 50,000. 15,000. Right? 15,000's a lot. 15,000 is a lot. So, to me, giving money and offering money talks, but $50,000 is not chump change. It's not chump change. That's a huge step. In finding. But there is something I want to share, and I want to get this if I can find this. The FBI. Oh, here's what I wanted to say. Here's what's crazy. This is crazy. This is what's crazy about Sebastian. I don't know if this is by era or by design to get a sense of urgency to find Sebastian quicker. But they got Sebastian Rogers right now listed on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. He's being put in with criminals, to find criminals. So they elevated this, and the FBI's 10 most wanted actually retweeted this out. Look, he's on the site right here. Most wanted, FBI most wanted, and they got Sebastian listed with all these terrorists and criminals, which is crazy. I mean, I know it's a missing person, kidnappings and missing persons, but they got him on the FBI. If you go to the FBI wanted, he's on the 10 most wanted, or the most wanted list. Sebastian, his case is on the most wanted list. It's pretty good. That's good. I think this was by design, even though people could say, well, why would Sebastian be on the most wanted list? Well, maybe it's because more eyeballs, more urgency, and stuff like that, which is interesting. I've never seen a missing child on the most wanted list. Have you? Check it out. Check it out yourself. He's on the most wanted list. It's very weird. Now, it could be by era, but we said the other day he was listed in the kidnapping. But literally, he's on the 10 most wanted fugitives. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. On the FBI.gov, go to the most wanted, 10 most wanted fugitives, and they got Sebastian on there. It's crazy. It's good. I think it's good. More eyeballs, more urgencies, like, you know, and I think they did this on purpose. Matter of fact, I don't think it's error. Look at this. Look at this. FBI Most Wanted. The FBI Most Wanted tweeted this out. The FBI offers a reward up to $50,000 for info leading to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a boy with medical conditions including autism. He was last seen in Hendersonville on February 26, 2024. Another thing I thought interesting about this whole scenario, folks, is they're actually saying a date as a statement of fact, February 26. And that's something we haven't really seen before either. Like the actual date, like they're saying he was last seen on February 26th. Last seen by who on February 26th? Which is interesting because if Katie Proudfoot went to bed, like she said, right around midnight, I guess midnight would classify as the 26th. Who was he seen by? Who was he seen by on the 26th to say as a statement of fact? But he's on the 10 most wanted list. So I just wanted to share that information. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Now, what does it take for an FBI to put somebody, investigate a missing child? I was trying to do a little bit of digging and research to try to find out what's classified. As we heard, crime could have happened on federal property, case involving, over interstate lines. But I don't think the FBI is leading this case. I don't think the FBI is leading. I think they're just assisting Sumner County, like not the lead. So I think it still falls back on TBI and Sumner County. But here's what happens here. Here's kind of like what the classification. This kind of summarizes it. The FBI will officially open and lead a missing persons investigation when foul play is suspected and the victim's known whereabouts was on federal property, such as a federal park, an Indian reservation, or the victim was on board a commercial ship. So, we talked about the federal property, federal parks. The missing person is a U.S. president or elected or appointed official, such as a cabinet member. This doesn't apply to Sebastian, all this. So it just makes me wonder why the FBI is offering all this reward. But the same thing with the Elijah View case. That's a state case. No indication that child is taken out of the state. I believe it's Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin boy. But they offer a $15,000 reward. Now, I've been looking around to find out other rewards out for missing children. And they've done it. But $50,000 for Sebastian? Now he's on the 10 most wanted list? That's to me is a big, big deal. Like they want to solve the case. So I think he is doing his job. He's doing what's best, the best he can do, what's presented and what he legally can do. Because, nowadays in different states and, there is rules, policies, procedures, laws, things they have to follow, protocol they have to follow, right? And, if are we into the era where if you think someone did it without evidence, you just drag them out of the house and arrest them? You need evidence. Apparently with this case, so far, I do think they have evidence. I just think they're not telling us this evidence. And I think they might not be telling us this evidence if the FBI is involved. Let FBI handle all that stuff. And the FBI is not obligated to give the public any information. I thought that kind of angle too, but I don't know necessarily if that's an angle that has merit or validity to. But Seth doesn't like this guy. Seth doesn't like him. Seth calls him corrupt, incompetent, says he has an ego. Now, Seth is not from Sumner County. I don't hear the Proudfoots bashing local law enforcement. Now, I understand Seth trying to find what's going on. It appears he's trying to find what's going on. It appears he's trying to find out what's going on. But why does he keep snapping back at local law enforcement? Why? We got to understand more than just what he's saying and what they want you. We got to understand it. We need receipts. I personally think if we want to know if Seth is legit or not, Provide the receipts and provide the proof of what's going on. Provide correspondence, communications. Show your receipts. Because if you show your receipts and Craddock's, responding back to Seth saying F off or whatever like that, put him on blast, Seth. Put him on blast. Put him on blast. Show the proof of what's really going on, Seth. Show the proof. Otherwise, we're not going to believe it on this channel. You could believe it. People on the surface might believe it. It's very easy to believe something without knowing the back history. It's very easy to just see someone on camera with some sniffles and crying and saying this, that, and the other and go, oh, I feel so bad for somebody, but not really knowing the backstory. Show the proof. If Sumner County sheriffs are so corrupt, show the proof why. Show the proof. Show the receipts. Show the correspondence. Show the emails. Show the communications. You're allowed to do that. He's allowed to do that. If he had correspondence with public officials, he's allowed to share those. He's allowed to share that. It's not private. Share it. Share the text. Share the emails. Share what's going on. Otherwise, why would I want to believe? Why would JLR Investigates, and I'm just saying this is my show. This is my thoughts. This is me covering this case. This is me digging deeper, trying to find the truth. Why should I believe anything Seth says coming out of this guy, with this guy aligned with this guy? If this guy wasn't aligned with him, I might have been thinking differently. But knowing that they're together now, I'm not going to believe anything Seth says until you show proof. But they won't. I don't think they will. Maybe they will after the segment because they seem to be triggered after they hear JLR Investigates. They go in their groups and they say, hey, JLR, Seth, you need to file a restraining order against JLR and all this kind of stuff. That would be shot out. It'd be crazy if they would even do that for people expressing themselves on the internet in a public, high-profile case. Craddock. So there's a change.org petition. Guess what, folks? I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sign the change.org petition in support of Eric Craddock. Why? Because I really do think he's a younger breed generational sheriff. I think he generally, off the citizens that I spoke to in Sumner County, I think he generally cares. I think he generally wants the Sebastian case solved. I haven't seen any evidence whatsoever of any corruption whatsoever in Sumner County. I haven't found lawsuits out there or nothing where anyone's saying police brutality, framed, corrupt cops, corrupt sheriffs, they violated. I haven't seen anything. Sometimes people get caught and they'll say bad things, and make allegations. But I haven't seen anything out there of anything that's bad about this individual here. So I think he's doing the good thing. I think he's doing good. There's actually a change.org petition. And matter of fact, I'm going to sign it. Support Eric Craddock for sheriff, Sumner County. Recently, Sheriff Sonny Weatherford unexpectedly passed after 14 years as sheriff. He was not only a leader, but also a friend, a mentor, and a guiding light for law enforcement within the Sumner County Sheriff's Office of approximately 344 employees, the law enforcement community in the state of Tennessee. In and before Weatherford's passing, Eric Craddock was faithfully committed to the values of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and within the Sumner County community as leader and chief deputy of the Sheriff's Office. In Sheriff Weatherford's absence, the position of sheriff must be filled with a viable and qualified candidate. It is without a doubt that this absence shall be filled by Eric Craddock. Eric is a premier leader within the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and deserves to build upon the foundation of skills, talent, and commitment that Sheriff Weatherford established in his time as law enforcement leader. Eric has been a resident of Sumner County his entire life. He graduated from Hendersonville High School in 2006. He is married and has 3 children, so he's a resident there. Eric has faithfully served the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and committee for over 15 years as a correctional officer. Interesting. Patrol deputy, detective, patrol sergeant, training lieutenant, and chief deputy. His law enforcement service record is undeniable. Eric has faithfully served the United States Navy for over 18 years while rising the rank of E8, Senior Chief Petty Officer. Eric has a master's degree of public safety, leadership, and administration. He's a graduate of Northwestern University of Police Staff and Command. He's qualified, capable, and ready to take the lead as sheriff of Sumner County's Sheriff's Office and for the future. The future starts now. This petition is designed to support Eric Craddock for sheriff of Sumner County. The response to this petition is intended to be presented to the county commission on Sumner County August 26th, the same day Seth wanted to have a protest to clear his name, right? Seth wanted people to send people down there to Sumner County to do his dirty work. Outsiders, by the way. The majority of those people are outsiders. The same day that they were going to vote to have Eric Craddock be the acting sheriff until the election, you know, Seth Rogers sends his goons over there and to protest in front of the Sumner County. I don't know where they actually protested. It looked like it was another building. But he doesn't like Craddock. He doesn't want Craddock at all handling the case. Why? You got a guy that's more than qualified. You got Eric Craddock here that served in the Navy, right? Served in the Navy. He served 15 years as a correctional officer, including 15 years in law enforcement, including correctional officer, patrol deputy, detective, patrol sergeant, training, and chief deputy. Not a blemish on his record whatsoever, but this guy has the audacity to call him a D-bag, have his people call Craddock corrupt, egos. It's shameful. It's shameful. So I'm going to actually sign it. I'm actually going to sign this. Let's see if I can sign it. I'm going to sign this right now while I'm on. Let me see. No. Let me see how I sign. How you got? Oh man, you got to log in. Okay. What I'm saying is, I'll put the link in the description. What we'll do is view reasons for signing. How do you sign? I want to sign this. I'm going to sign this. So I'll do this when I'm offline. So check it out. You'll see JLR Investigates. We support Eric Craddock for sheriff. We do not support law enforcement bashing anyone that's, or we don't support law enforcement bashing on JLR Investigates. My mind is all over the map here because it's just so frustrating to see this level of behavior on the Sebastian Rogers case. Really ask him, what's his deal? What's really up? Is it because he doesn't have the money to fight back? He's an outsider and they're not taking this case because he's an outsider and they're not giving him the sympathy or what he deserves? What is the scheme here? But it seems like, to me, it all went south from the time he got involved. I think in the first 2 months, the case was propelling good and he was getting a wave of momentum. A lot of people online that were talking about this case were very, very sympathetic. As soon as he comes in, the whole case gets alienated and he's in the minority now. And believe it or not, the people that probably are responsible in my eyes, particularly her, are almost being championed at this point, Like, you know what I mean? By their silence and they're just sitting back, it just turned into, oh yeah, we'll just sit back and let Seth shoot himself in the foot, which apparently he has done. You don't see Sumner County residents rallying in support of Seth or Rogers. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I see outsiders trying to come in here, stir the pot. Outsiders. I see outsiders. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing. So that's pretty much my talk about the case today. Don't attack the messenger. I'm only trying to find the truth and understand what really is going on in this case. And all I'll say is lack of information. We don't know what's really the truth. If he wants sympathy and he wants the public to be on his side, then show some receipts. Show some proof of this corruption that's going on and this being oppressed. And, levels of communication. Now, I want to hear their side. But they're not going to speak about this because I don't think they get involved with the drama and the craziness like that. All right, folks. Remember, we are Sebastian's Army on JLR Investigates. A lot of people in the chat this morning. Anything else breaks on this case, $50,000 reward, that's a lot of money. Someone needs to come forward. Show what happened. If you know something, show what happened. Come forward. $50,000. You'll get $50K, bro. $50K. That's a lot of money. I vow if we ever found out what happened to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, I would accept that $50,000, but instantly give it away to all types of charity. Battered women, animals, victims of domestic violence, other victims of crime. If I was ever to solve a case that was a reward, because reward is not the motivation on JLR Investigates, I would donate every single penny to causes. I wouldn't send all the money to one cause. I would distribute it out. $100 here, $100 there, $100. I'll make sure everyone gets a piece of the pie. I don't want to die. That's how I roll. And I always said that. Because one day, you know, we're very passionate about seeking justice for victims and finding people. I think one day we're going to come across somebody. And when we do, we're donating it all. Yeah, I'm going to accept it, but I'm going to donate it all instantly. Or I'm going to say, here, I want this cause, all the other victims out there, all the Moscow 4 victims, Gabby Petito's family, you know, a lot of the victims, Michael Vaughn's family, just victims of crimes out there, you know, victims out there of crimes. They're gonna get the money on JLR Investigates. Thanks for watching this particular segment. You guys have a good day. Be blessed. Sebastian's Army strong. We're strong. Good day, folks. JLR Investigates.